Welcome to Suburban On Air, Cohen in the City. And in the city today with me is the great Andy Kindler, live from California. Welcome, Andy.
Yay! Oh, I don't know. Why am I cheering?
Well, let me tell you.
Hey, how'd you get him?
I don't know how I got Andy Kindler. I don't know how lucky I got. I went to Just for Laughs. They're, of course, having their first ever 100% virtual, 100% free Just for Laughs festival.
Wait, what'd you say? Free?
Free, exactly. I guess covered by the sponsors, Andy.
I gotta make a call.
I hope they're paying you.
They are paying me.
All right.
I give here when it comes in here. Is that the most? All of a sudden, I've become the most Jewish. I am Jewish, but that's
Okay.
It's not good for Jewish people to be caught doing this.
Okay. Well, Shana Tova to you, Andy.
Shana Tova, because I always said I'm Jewish to the core, but if Jewish people, we didn't want to have the stereotypes about money, why did we write a song about money? If I had some money, a scoop-a-doop-a-doo, hey, I pay a ho, ho, ho. That's where I think it started.
I'm going to have you do the Devar Torah at our synagogue next year. We're going to bring you in, and we have to do that, Andy, for sure. Maybe
I do a good Ein Kelohenu. I don't know if you have that up there. Ein Kelohenu, Ein Kelohei. That's all I know.
That's very good. That's excellent. We'll get a cantor. I have a local cantor who will tutor you. So
okay, I'm up for this.
You're going to meet him, Cantor Danny Ben Lolo. That's what his real name is, Danny Ben Lolo, and he is an amazing guy and very funny too. So we could bring him on stage next time you come to Montreal live. You and Danny Ben Lolo, and you'll sing Ein Kelohenu together. How's that sound?
I love it. And there's also, if it works out, I'd like to find a way to make less money. So maybe I would get into the cantor game.
All right.
Well, I'm making a little bit now, but
yeah.
Can I go lower?
Well, I guess that's possible. So Andy Kindler, October 9th and 10th is the virtual Just for Laughs Festival,
yes.
Which is going to be very, very exciting. So Andy, can you believe you've been coming to Montreal for so many years? Can you believe that it's come to this with COVID, that we're doing a virtual comedy festival for Just for Laughs?
Well, I would be lying if I said I saw this coming. And I mean, I'm not like Trump. I'm okay. I'm not like Trump, who didn't see any of it coming, or he did see it coming, or he didn't see it coming. No, I didn't see it coming, and I did not. I was in New York. I had to get back here, and I have not left the apartment since March because I'm a big show business personality. I have my groceries delivered.
So you're basically telling everyone to social distance and stay safe, correct?
Yes, I came out with oh yeah, I mean, by the way, if anybody doesn't know where I am politically, help, he's destroying the whole world. Hi, I'm Jeff Dunham. I'm changing my entire act. Forget Ahmed the terrorist. Now it's gonna be run for your lives. Oh God, I'm bad. That's some bad ventriloquism, I got to admit.
That was pretty good.
Oh, yeah. So, what was I forgot the question though.
Well, we were just talking about, can you believe it's come to this?
Oh yeah. Well, the thing is, we all were excited. You know, when Trump first got elected, I said to my friends, pleasantly surprised. But we all said, you know what? Maybe if there's not a major disaster, we can get through this. We were wrong. It's really terrible. In the long-term thing, first of all, I am in the, I should call myself Dr. Comorbidity, all right? Because I am in my 60s. I have high blood pressure. And the only good thing I'll say about this is I came out with an album called Hence the Humor. It's available by digital download. And before I put it out, I was so upset. Oh, I want to make physical copies. I couldn't be more thrilled to not have a physical copy. I love stand-up. I love the audiences. I will never greet anyone after the show to sign their old Jeremy CD, or maybe from my early days, they come up with a vinyl album just covered with COVID. Those days are over. I will be socially distanced until the end.
That's a great message. Now, I want to know. Now, I've had a chance to see your State of the Industry address. You've been doing this at Just for Laughs for a select group. How many years now, approximately?
This is the 25th anniversary.
Wow, wow! And can you explain for someone who's tuning in right now, what is the State of the Industry address exactly?
The State of the Industry address was back in the days. I did a demonstration. I wrote an article for National Lampoon, which was called the Hack Comics Handbook, to show everybody how to be a hack comic. And it was right when the comedy boom was. I don't know if the kids today remember the comedy boom. In the early 90s, it just imploded. So I did a demonstration in Montreal of all the hack comics and how to be a hack comic. And then from that, Bruce Hills, the head of the festival, said, "Why don't you do a speech?" And then my manager, Bruce Smith, came up with the name State of the Industry. And so it just became a kind of a roast and a destruction of my career every year, as I would name names that could help me. And I would, I offered early on, offered $1 million for footage of Whoopi Goldberg being funny. That would be an example of some of the early bits that I did.
So how is it going to differ this year? This is going to be online. You're going to be recording it probably from the room you're in right now, I presume. How long is it going to be, and what can we expect from it?
Well, it's going to be 30 minutes. Normally, it's 45 minutes, 50 minutes. So let's be honest, I'm going long. You know how I go long.
Yeah.
The first 5 minutes will be about why is this happening. Actually, I get so sick for that speech every year, physically ill. I don't vomit, but I get close. I have no fear now. This is going to be, I don't ever get reaction from crowds, or very little. Now I don't have to deliver the speech worried about how it's going.
Right.
Now you're in my wheelhouse now. So it's like, and people will be able to watch it live, and I will just take on the same subjects like I normally take on, and be talking about Jimmy Kimmel at home. Who knew Bill Maher at home would be 40 times more unpleasant than he is? That's all we needed was Bill Maher in his regular environment. So it'll be the same kind of speech, but I won't be able to. Normally, a lot of the industry comes and it's in a hotel ballroom, and I get that kind of, I can play with the crowd. So this will be completely different. And I know I'll go through that thing where the news anchors go through all the time. Not news anchors, the late night comics go through all the time now.
Yeah.
Where, but it's interesting because like some of the speeches, political speeches, have been better without audiences. So I'm wondering, since I comment all the time, I'll probably get some comedy from just not understanding that I'm not getting any laughs. Hello? Am I bombing? Hello?
I think you're too experienced to really worry about that. And you've got a lot of material. Will we hear a few Trump jokes?
Oh yeah. Well, the thing about Trump is that I have I think there's nothing that I haven't said that was negative. Can you see me still?
I see you perfectly.
Yeah, because I'm trying to see what I'm going to be looking around. I'm looking at the actual speech. This is the same thing I do every year. I can't think of. I know I'm going to be doing a lot of jokes about the fact that I was the first comic to socially distance. Before I was the first comic to do shows that had a good spacing in the audience. My first tour was my half a house tour. I refused to sell more than half the tickets to any house. So this, I think, is going to be an environment when they go 25% capacity. That's an Andy Kindler show. So I will be making a lot of jokes about COVID and the fact that every show is going to be, any show that's going to be pitched now is going to be, where's the Zoom element? I'm a lawyer who works by Zoom.
You're right. Look, COVID is a very sad situation, but there is a lot of humor. People need to let loose a little bit with this terrible situation, and sometimes the good humor is not so bad. If at the end of the half hour I haven't cheered you up and made you feel better about your life and about being in quarantine,
Join the club.
Well, I think that's the goal, and that's why I applaud Bruce Hills and his team for coming up with this concept. And now everybody is going to be able to watch this show. Not everybody could necessarily afford to go to the show or get out there, and so the viewership should be massive.
Not only that, my show was never open to the public.
That's right.
So I mean, unless you were press or you got, had a pass. You had a pass. So
Yeah.
That I think is really exciting to me, because it used to be that I would say something terrible about Louis C.K. and then it would filter out into the community after the show. Now I can slam him and people react in real time.
Well, not only that, but people could watch this from all over the world, including Louis C.K. from his living room could watch you.
Oh, didn't realize that. You know
Didn't
what?
think that.
You know what? He's been through a rough time.
Yeah.
Let's give him a break. No, I don't. I hope he will. This is the best thing too. I can make fun of like, for example, I'll be making fun of Joe Rogan a lot, because Joe Rogan is somehow and if you don't agree with me, fine. He took maybe the worst comedy act I've ever seen in my life, and he has spinned it into a personality that is now a political personality. So now I can say, but he's a Taekwondo expert. And I used to be so scared to say anything about him because he could beat me up. Can't beat me up now. I'm home. I'm never leaving home.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of not leaving home, I mean, what is the future? Let's say that 6 months down the line, what do you think is going to happen with comedy? Are we going to have a vaccine? Are you going to feel safe to go back out? I mean, how badly has a career such as yours been affected by not being able to do what you do?
Well, my career has been. Let me see. If you go from money to no money, it has been affected. Now I'm lucky. I joined Cameo. I don't know if you have Cameo up there.
Yes.
Is it Canadian Cameo? No,
well, it's not Canadian Cameo, but I know that people could hire you to do like a couple of minutes message personalized, right, to somebody.
Yeah, and I'm making about $20 an hour doing this now.
Wow, that's pretty good. You could deliver the Los Angeles Times as well, maybe, and make a few bucks.
And actually, it's been actually very cool because it's like one of the first times I consistently kill. You know, people like to have a personal message. Yeah. You know, they like to hear it. So yeah, I mean, here's what I think is going to happen. I think Trump is going to be defeated. Sorry, Saskatoon.
I agree with you. I hope you're right, because I can't stand the sight of this man.
I would say by the middle to the end of next year, I think when the vaccine hits, I think then people will feel safer. But I won't be the first person to go back in the club, because I mean, you know, I am not 30 years old. And so, and my wife's not 30 years old. I don't want either. You know, I would feel guilty if I brought COVID home to the house. So I'm going to really be one of those late adopters, but I think towards the middle to end of next year. What do you think?
I don't even know what to think at this point. I'm telling you, I really don't.
Yeah.
And I certainly don't believe Trump, you know, and I don't believe Putin either. So
I recommend Mary Trump's book very highly. I listened to it on tape, and when you see, there's a chapter called "The Cruelty is the Point," and that is kind of the way Trump was raised. His father, not the nicest guy in the world.
Well, listen, Andy, my born name is Michael Cohen. Everyone calls me Mike Cohen, but since there's a book by a Michael Cohen, I'm trying to get an interview with him because he knows a little bit about Trump as well.
I think he would probably want to talk to you, wouldn't he?
Well, I'm trying to reach out to him. If you have any contacts, let me know. I'm trying to reach out to Michael Cohen, the lawyer. So, you know,
I know Tom Arnold. Maybe I'll shoot him a thing.
Hey, why not? Any contact will be great. So look.
But do I get to wet my beak?
So I want to ask you two more questions. Number one is, you were on Letterman, I think, over 40 times. How did you establish such a relationship with him?
This is maybe the greatest story for me, from my personal career. He was always my hero. I was a little bit young to love. I mean, I loved Carson, but Letterman was my guy. And I did the show in 1996, and I think I didn't bomb, but I wasn't crazy about it. And then he booked me 4 years later, and I came out and said that I was here 4 years ago. I'm here now. I just want to say I can't live on this kind of money. And so I started to do these sets that started to get better and better. And he personally reached out to me my people to see if I would do these field pieces because he can't do them couldn't do them anymore. He would go out and get mobbed, you know. So I kind of like, I didn't take over for him because Rupert G had done them first, but then I did like 39 of these field pieces. So it was absolutely a dream come true. It was the greatest experience.
Yeah, I met Rupert G last year. I was in New York. My wife and daughter were at a movie, or at a show, and I was walking down, and he was just there like a regular guy at the Hello Deli, and I was so excited to meet him, you know. And in fact, I told Bruce Hills to have him as a guest at Just for Laughs, and I think if it was a live Just for Laughs this year, I think Rupert G might have come. I had an idea for Bruce, so we'll see if it unfolds.
Oh, that'd be great.
When
That would be
COVID is
good.
over. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing your performance, that's for sure, and looking forward to seeing everything and how it goes. One more thing. So we're going to put on this list, we're going to put down on the video how people can watch the show. I want to wish you the best of luck, Andy. All the best, and stay healthy.
Thank you. Thank you. Great talking to you.
Andy Kindler has been my guest.